Good evening and welcome to MTV's news update for today, June 15, 2021. I'm Ashley Scotland. First, our top headlines. National Assembly passes motion to remove Patterson as PAC chairman. Health Ministry working to vaccinate 100% of the adult population by year end. 102 persons hospitalized with COVID. And in sport, 186 million approved for sports sector. Now for the news in details. The National Assembly has approved a $10 billion supplementary fund to aid flood relief efforts. The money would go towards repairing damaged infrastructure and lending support to farmers and families severely affected by the flood. Sandy Ramatar reports.
The $10 billion supplementary fund will bring immediate relief to those affected by flooding countrywide. The supplementary financing was brought last Thursday when Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, tabled two financial papers at the 20th sitting of the 12th Parliament. Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips said the extra money is essential and will provide meaningful support to hundreds of communities, especially now that President Dr. Irfan Ali has declared the flooding a national disaster. He noted that the funds will be used to boost the delivery of relief supplies, the establishment and maintenance of shelters, and emergency works to damage infrastructure.
The assessments are ongoing. The assessment reports will inform our further intervention. It is too early for us to divide this amount of money and say so much will go for hampers, so much will go for recovery, so much will go for this, right? We are doing an assessment now. This is an objective process.
Assessments of the flooding are still ongoing across the country to ascertain the magnitude and impact of the flood waters. The Prime Minister said no financial support was given to any flooded households, noting that the Civil Defence Commission's continuous evaluation will determine government's further intervention. Some 30,000 households have been affected in more than 300 communities countrywide. To date, some 21,935 food hampers and 18,654 cleaning hampers have been distributed. Each food hamper is worth $10,000 and will last for 2 weeks.
The bottom line is the government of Guyana, the PPPC government, is committed to reaching every community, every individual affected by this flood and bring relief to them.
Persistent rainfall over the past few weeks has been recorded as the second highest in 40 years. The Guyana Hydrometeorological Service said the current heavy persistent rain may not end until mid-July-August. Sandy Ramotar for MTV's News Update.
The National Assembly, in the wee hours of this morning, passed a motion to remove the former APNU-AFC Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson, as the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. Here is Lewin Williams.
The motion was tabled by Member of Parliament and Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira. Teixeira, who is also the government's chief whip, told the National Assembly that the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, David Patterson's behavior was unacceptable. She referenced the case when the PSA was examining the 2016 Auditor General's report, where there were several issues the government side wanted to address, but was not allowed to do so. She explained that after the findings of the 2016 Auditor General's report, she had moved a motion calling for Patterson to resign as it was inappropriate for him to continue as chairman. Minister Teixeira also noted the opposition's failure to act after Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, and Clerk of the National Assembly, Sherlock Isaacs, intervened to have the motion addressed at the PSA meeting, which was a violation of the standing order.
Be it resolved, Mr. Speaker, that the honourable member's conduct as chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee with respect to his open violation of the standing orders, among other things, in particular, since February 1st, the majority of the members of the Public Accounts Committee have lost confidence in him as the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. Be it further resolved that this National Assembly approves the removal of Mr. David Patterson as the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee. This motion is very serious, and I want to ask you, and particularly the Honourable Member, Mr. Patterson, to recognize that he will never ever be able to be chairman of the Public Accounts Committee once this motion passes. This is a very serious form of censure, and therefore you can laugh and you can smirk and you can giggle. But a resolution in the House is binding until it is changed and amended by another motion and by another resolution.
The motion was passed at 5:30 this morning after a lengthy debate between the opposition and the government's MPs. The APNU-AFC members of parliament were not in favour of the motion.
Honourable members, this concludes the debate on the motion. I now put the question. Those in favour of the motion say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it.
David Patterson has also been caught up in a controversy after he admitted to receiving gifts worth hundreds of thousands from various agencies under the then Ministry of Public Infrastructure under the tenure of the APNU-AFC administration. The Public Accounts Committee is responsible for the scrutinizing of the government's expenditure of state monies. The standing order stipulates that the Public Accounts Committee must only be chaired by an opposition member. Luan Williams from MTV's News Update.
Guyana is expected to procure several thousand doses more COVID-19 vaccines after some $619 million was approved by the Committee of Supply on Monday evening in the National Assembly. Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the vaccines are necessary to inoculate the adult population against the deadly disease. Some 148,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine are being procured at a cost of $441 million through the CARICOM African Union Partnership. An additional 58,000 doses of the Russian Sputnik V vaccine are also being procured at a cost of $278 million. Earlier on Monday evening, Minister Anthony gave assurances that although enough vaccines were acquired to ensure inoculation, it was also due to the government's efforts. He noted that the government actively sought to secure the vaccines through various mechanisms, which has enabled over 44% of Guyana's adult population to receive their first dose of vaccine. He explained that had the government depended solely on the COVAX mechanism, only 10% of the country's adult population would have been vaccinated. The procurement of additional vaccines will boost the Ministry of Health's immunization campaign. You're watching MTV's News Update. More news on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Attention valued clients, please make sure your air conditioners are serviced and cleaned every 3 to 4 months by ACH Inc., the Samsung factory authorized service center in Guyana. This important maintenance will ensure your air conditioner cools 100% and prevents costly repair. Our trained technicians can service all brands. We are proud to announce Samsung new and improved air conditioners. Reformed and renovated, with 36% thicker copper condenser coil, anti-corrosive protection on the condenser, preventing oxidation. Available at ACH Inc., Guyana's factory authorized Samsung distributor.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority has employed the services of rangers, and we're kindly asking you, the members of the public, for your full cooperation as we seek to bring order and semblance to communities under our management. Our rangers are responsible for the monitoring of schemes for contravention under the Town and Country Planning Act and agreement of sales issued to allottees, responding appropriately to reports made by members of the public or allottees in schemes where there are illegal activities in contravention of the CHMPA's policies and the Town and Country Planning Act, to undertake investigations into report on the misuse of the roads, squatting, animal nuisance, and dumping of garbage and derelict vehicles in schemes. issue notices for illegal construction, and letters regarding penalties to be paid for the storage of materials on the roads within our schemes. Our rangers will be properly identifiable at all times, as they have all been outfitted with the agency's badge. From time to time, they will be in your community, so in order for them to function effectively and better serve you, your cooperation is needed.
A message from the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
As a new mom, there are moments of pride, joy, and doubt. Yes, doubt. Has he slept enough? Does she have everything that she needs? Will she be okay in the sun? These doubts come from love. For the good of baby, 2 servings of Nestum are full of all the goodness and naturalness of the cereals that your baby needs to blossom. That's one less thing to worry about. Nestum. It's all good, Mom.
Learn more online with Nestle Baby and Me.
Enroll at the Elite Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School and graduate with an associate degree in aircraft maintenance engineering. You're also accredited by the National Accreditation Council of Guyana. Visit our virtual open day on July 9th, 2021 from 10 hours at the Eugene F. Correa Airport, East Coast of Marara, or call us on 222-2155 or 222-1210. Visit our website at www.aesguyana.net or social media for more information and Zoom meeting ID and passcode. The Art Williams and Harry Wendt Aeronautical Engineering School, investing in your future since 1993.
Modern Optical Service has made it even better by introducing its budgeted spectacle line, starting as low as $10,000 for single vision lens and $12,000 for bifocal lens, available in tinted or clear, complete spectacles at affordable prices. So hurry down to our main office at 316 Middle Street or Lot 14 Diamond Public Road opposite Demerara Bank. Enjoy over 60 years of eye care experience at affordable prices. Modern Optical Service, your eye care professionals.
Beeson Windows and Doors, fully equipped to handle all your commercial projects. Whether you're constructing a small or large commercial building, residential property, or just upgrading your home, they got you covered. Beeson Windows and Doors, providing unmatched quality windows for your home, office, and commercial building. Located at 1228 Eccles Industrial Site. For more information, call 662-4197 or 226-1292.
This is MTV's News Update. Welcome back. As coronavirus cases continue to surge, some 102 persons across the country have been hospitalized with the coronavirus. Sandy Ramatar tells us more.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said more than 100 patients are currently hospitalized with the coronavirus. Most of the cases are hospitalized at the Diseases Infectious Hospital. The health minister said 21 of these cases are in the COVID-19 intensive care unit. The health ministry is currently monitoring the patients.
So currently we have in different hospitals across the country, we have about 102 persons. We have 6 persons right now in the Upper Demerara Hospital, or Linden Hospital as people know it. We have 3 persons in the Bartica Regional Hospital. We have 8 persons in Berbice, Region 6, in New Amsterdam and in Skeldon, we have 8 persons. In Maikoni, we have 6, and in West Demerara, we have 8. At the Ocean View facility, we have 70 persons right now, and of those 70, 21 are in the ICU.
So far, 222,373 persons have received their first dose of the vaccine, which represents 45.7% of the adult population. Some 90,157 persons have been fully immunized, which amounts to 18.5% of the population. Sandy Ramutar for MTV's News Update.
The Health Ministry on Sunday launched a house-to-house COVID-19 vaccination campaign in Region 10 in an effort to encourage residents to take the coronavirus vaccine. Here is more.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony said the house-to-house approach was used to encourage residents to take the vaccine. Region 10 has been lagging behind, recording the lowest number of persons out of all 10 regions to have received the coronavirus vaccine. Only about 13% of the adult population in the region has been vaccinated against the deadly virus. The Health Ministry hopes the new campaign will meet more persons who are unable to visit a medical facility to get the jab.
The health team in the region, they came up with this innovative idea of going house to house and talking to people, and if there anyone desirous of getting the vaccine, they would give them. So that is working a little bit, because in the first campaign I think they were able to get 53 persons, and we'll continue doing these types of efforts in the hope that we can get more people vaccinated. The truth of the matter is that unless people are vaccinated, we would not be able to exit this pandemic. So unless all of us receive the vaccine, and then we would not be safe. So to get to herd immunity, all of us would need to get the vaccine.
During the visits, persons are said to be provided a platform for discussions with doctors and other healthcare practitioners to air their concerns, ask questions, and dispel any myths surrounding the vaccination. The house-to-house campaign commenced in Amelia's Ward, Linden, a location where 40% of positive COVID-19 cases were recorded over the past several days. Reporting for MTV News Update, LaShawna Gomes Cornelius.
President Dr. Irfan Ali has met with the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the United States House of Representatives, Gregory Meeks, and held discussions on a number of areas of mutual interest to both countries. The meeting underscored the importance of issues such as climate change, COVID-19 vaccine distribution, economic growth, and energy initiatives that will benefit all Guyanese. The government is working to vaccinate as many persons so that herd immunity can be achieved by the end of the year. However, the Health Ministry also wants to vaccinate 100% of the adult population. More from Lone Williams.
During an interview with his newscast, advisor to the Minister of Health, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, said the administration is working to vaccinate more than 80% of the adult population, which is required to achieve herd immunity. Herd immunity occurs when enough of a population becomes immune to a disease, significantly reducing the chances of transmission. Dr. Ramsamy said while the Health Ministry will be satisfied with achieving herd immunity, it will not be restricted by that number. Some 18% of the adult population have already been fully vaccinated against the coronavirus.
So the government's commitment is to achieve herd immunity this year. The government has announced its commitment that we want to vaccinate all adult Guyanese. So whilst we will be satisfied with 80%, say, of the adult population, we are not being restricted by that target. We want 100% of the adult population.
However, he said the public must do its part to achieve full coverage across the country. Despite a global shortage of COVID vaccines, the former health minister has assured that the government is working to procure enough vaccines to cover over 100% of the population.
What I can say to people right now is that we have secured, are in the process of securing all the vaccines that are needed to vaccinate 100% of the adults in Guyana. And we will try to accomplish that goal before the end of 2021.
Dr. Ramsamy is again urging persons to come out get vaccinated, noting once fully immunized, the vaccine can prevent them from experiencing the severe effects of the coronavirus. Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
More news coming up on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Visit Gaffur's Ironmongery department for all your building needs. Bolts and nuts, zinc plated, high tensile, anchor bolts and threaded rods. Package nails for your convenience, screws for wood, metal and concrete. Building a fence, we've got cast iron railheads and decorative fencing, gate slides and pivots, laser and barbed wire. For your carpentry needs, we stock tight bond, wood glues and Evo stick, hasps and staples, hinges, butts, catches and brackets, and a wide selection of modern design cupboard handles and knobs. Secure your property and loved ones with quality Yale products such as padlocks, available in several sizes and types, knobs, lever, deadlocks and decorative door locks. Moving heavy loads is easy with caster wheels and hand trucks that cater for any job. For construction, we've got scaffolding along with ladders, multi-purpose, extended, fiberglass and step ladders too. For everything you need under one roof, it's Gaffur's, the name you can trust.
You can be a millionaire by only spending $100 on a Daily Million ticket. Simply pick any 5 numbers from 1 to 26, or you can buy a quick pick for your chance to win the Daily Millions. Purchase your tickets daily, Monday through Saturday, to get a chance to win $1 million every day. So, feeling lucky? Then buy a Daily Millions ticket today. Remember, a ticket today could make you rich today.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the 2 most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
As a new mom, there are moments of pride, joy, and doubt. Yes, doubt. Has he slept enough? Does she have everything that she needs? Will she be okay in the sun? These doubts come from love. For the good of baby, 2 servings of Nestum are full of all the goodness and naturalness of the cereals that your baby needs to blossom. That's one less thing to worry about. Nestum, it's all good, Mom.
Learn more online with Nestle Baby and Me.
Are you running around looking for construction materials? Well, run down to Lens for affordable, high-quality building supplies. We have the widest range of grade A floor and wall tiles in any shape, size, and designs. And all types of ceramics, porcelain glazed, and full-body porcelain. We stock the largest collection of large format tiles. Check out our porcelain slabs as big as 10 feet by 4.5 feet. Add a bit of elegance with our large range of decorative molding. Our line of PPG paints will give you vibrant colors that won't fade. Our wall and ceiling gypsum system. It's light, durable, and fast. So come down to Lens at 136 Cher Street, which is next to Buddy's and Pizza Hut, for that 31 years of Lens quality.
You're tuned to MTV's News Update. The Ghana Livestock Development Authority has intensified its efforts to assist livestock farmers with veterinary services and the relocation of 20,000 cattle to higher ground as they continue to grapple with challenges due to the wide-scale flooding. Here is Lashana Gomes-Cornelius.
The Ghana Livestock Development Authority has been able to assist farmers in relocating thousands of cattle to higher ground. This is according to Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Livestock and Development Authority, Dr. Grayson Haley. However, hundreds of animals remain stranded in the Abari and Kukrit savannas. Although these animals are considered wild, he said that efforts are still being made to relocate them. Some farmers have also raised concerns about the safety of their animals should they allow them to be relocated.
We are talking about 30-something thousand animals that have to come out, and you can imagine what would happen with the coastline, if all these animals we bring them within the community, right? That would be a lot of damages and a lot of concern. So, but some farmers are giving up their lands, are saying, look, you can use my land to help the farmers so that they don't have to be on the roadways. I've seen recently also through interaction with rice farmers, I have achieved some amount of cooperation for them to give up some of the rice land to house cattle and those kind of things. So some persons are seeing the need for it. Some persons are being very considerate of the situation and are giving some amount of land to us for us to house some of the cattle.
He explained that the agency is currently conducting a house-to-house veterinary service exercise to treat cattle and small ruminant animals. Farmers have also been finding it difficult to feed their animals due to pastures being flooded. Many farmers have reported that some of their animals died as a result of the flooding. These reports prompted the intervention of Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who instructed the GLDA to supply affected farmers with supplementary feed and molasses, and to provide house-to-house veterinary visits to administer treatment weekly.
At this moment, the veterinary service would be basically ambulatory, would be for and focus mainly on the animal like the sheep, small animals and so on. For the large animals, it's very difficult to get those animals at this point. So we are giving farmers the packages of medication, builders and those kind of things. In some cases, if they have sick animal, antibiotic that they can give orally. They can mix with the molasses with some water or mix in the feed that we're giving so that the animals, they can do it themselves. We give them the directions and so on.
Officers were also tasked with advising farmers on the correct way to use supplementary feed. This is to prevent health complications such as bloating and other metabolic issues. On Sunday last, the farmers from the Abari area received 7,280 pounds of mixed ration to feed their animals. Vets will also be visiting these farmers on a weekly basis to carry out checks and provide veterinary service as needed. Reporting from MTV News Update, LaShawna Gomes, Cornelius.
Hope Estate, a home for rice and cash crop farmers, have lauded the Ministry of Agriculture's National Drainage and Irrigation Authority for keeping the canals and drains within the estate clean, which has helped minimize flooding during the heavy rainfall over the past few weeks. Here is more.
Hope Estate, a home to over 200 farmers, is one of the least affected area on the east coast Demerara. This newscast visited the estate to get an update from some of the farmers on how they are coping with the persistent rainfall over the past few weeks. The farmers said the estate has only been affected with minor flooding as a result of the improved drainage and irrigation structure within the estate.
Okay, with the recent flood, have you been affected?
No. Well, probably we get them, the drainage them clean out properly now. And the pump out there too. I mean, I get some people get little damage and so on, and nothing serious like before. But thank God that I put the pump and the pump out too, and the cooker. So we think that a great help we get.
No. April month we have a little affection. That wasn't much, but after that we spoke with the minister, and they start to drain all the places. So in this May, June rain, we have no flood because all the canal clean, and that is the main thing. Once the canal them clean and the pump working, it don't affect we here.
None. And this is the first time since I've been here for more than 20 years now. This is the first rainy season I haven't experienced any flood. None whatsoever.
General Manager of the Hope Estate, Ricky Rupchan, lauded the Ministry of Agriculture's National Drainage and Irrigation Authority for keeping the canals and drains clean. According to him, this is the main reason the estate has not been affected by the seasonal flooding.
During this intense rainfall, I must say that Hope Estate has been one of the least affected areas along the East Coast. The reason being we have improved our D&I system significantly with the assistance from the Ministry of Agriculture. The minister had made a brand new excavator, made available a brand new excavator to Hope Estate, which was working full time for the past 2 months. So our D&I system fortunately was functioning effectively and efficiently during the rainy season.
Luan Williams for MTV's News Update.
Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell has announced that 350 new house lots will be distributed in Charity Region 2 as the government seeks to fulfill its promise of providing 50,000 house lots over 5 years. The minister was at the time addressing the National Assembly as the government sought approval for its $23 billion supplementary budget. Some 350 house lots will be allocated in the region at the end of the month. Minister Crowell said, noting this is part of a robust initiative of empowering people through land ownership. The ministry is seeking $2.838 billion to continue its housing projects. Minister Crowell told the Committee of Supply that there are 18 areas countrywide with ongoing developmental works for new housing schemes or newly allocated lands that will benefit from the sums. Some of these areas include Experiment, Diamond, Providence, Hampshire, Cornelia Ida, and Edenburg. The minister said the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHNPA, will continue executing works to meet the PPPC government's manifesto target of allocating a minimum of 10,000 house lots per year. The government, mere months after being elected to office, has distributed 4,000 house lots. It is expected to continue along this progressive path to achieve the goal of home ownership for Guyanese. We now take a look at tips for healthy living, brought to you with the kind compliments of Natura's high on no milk powder, distributed by Dabby's Variety.
What does Natura high and low milk powder have? It is fortified with the extra goodness of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura, high and low, healthy, can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura high and low milk powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
Vaginal candidiasis, commonly known as a vaginal yeast infection, is a fungal infection that causes irritation, discharge, and intense itchiness of the vagina and the tissues at the vaginal opening. Vaginal yeast infection affects up to 3 out of 4 women at some point in their lifetimes. A vaginal yeast infection isn't considered a sexually transmitted infection. Symptoms can range from mild to moderate. They may include itching and irritation in the vagina and the vulva, a burning sensation during intercourse or urination, redness and swelling of the vulva, vaginal pain and soreness, vaginal rash, thick white odor-free vaginal discharge with a cottage cheese-like appearance, watery vaginal discharge. You may have severe signs and symptoms such as extensive redness, swelling and itching that leads to tears, cracks or sores, and you have 4 or more yeast infections in a year. Your risk of developing vaginal candidiasis may increase if you are pregnant or your immune system is weakened. The fungus Candida albicans is responsible for most vaginal yeast infections. The vagina naturally contains a balanced mix of yeast, including candida and bacteria. Certain bacteria, lactobacillus, act to prevent an overgrowth of yeast. That balance can be disrupted. An overgrowth of candida causes a yeast infection. Yeast infections are common in women who take antibiotics. Broad-spectrum antibiotics, which kill a range of bacteria, also kill healthy bacteria in your vagina, leading to an overgrowth of yeast. Increased estrogen levels and uncontrolled diabetes are also known to cause yeast infections. Medications can effectively treat vaginal yeast infections. If you have recurrent yeast infections, 4 or more within a year, you may need a longer treatment course and a maintenance plan. Make an appointment with your doctor if this is the first time you've had yeast infection symptoms. You're not sure whether you have a yeast infection, your symptoms aren't relieved after treating with over-the-counter antifungal vaginal creams or suppositories. To reduce your risk of vaginal yeast infections, wear underwear that has a cotton crotch and doesn't fit too tightly. It might also help to avoid a tight-fitting pantyhose, douching, which removes some of the normal bacteria in the vagina that protects you from infection, scented feminine products, including bubble bath, pads and tampons, hot tubs and very hot baths, unnecessary antibiotic use, such as for colds or other viral infections, staying in wet clothes such as swimsuits and workout attire for long periods of time. Controlled diabetes is also advised to prevent recurring yeast infections.
What does Natura High and Low Milk Powder have? It is fortified with the extra goodness of vitamins A, C, D, E, and K. It is high in calcium, protein, and enriched with folic acid, all of which help to strengthen your immune system. What it doesn't have is fat and cholesterol. Natura High and Low. Healthy can taste good. Available at all leading supermarkets and groceries nationwide. Natura High and Low Milk Powder is not for infants 1 year and under.
Here is Lashawna Gomes Cornelius with Court Roundup.
26-year-old Orvin Welcome of Whitewater Village, Northwest District, accused of the criminal offense of rape, was today placed before Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce at the Mabaruma Magistrates Court via Zoom. Orvin Welcome, who is accused of the rape of a woman allegedly committed back on June 8, 2021 at Whitewater Village, Northwest District, was not required to plead to the indictable offense. Orvin Welcome was remanded to prison. He is scheduled to make his next court appearance on June 18, 2021. A former school bus driver who has been on trial for 2 counts of rape of a minor has now been found guilty of the serious offense. The accused is identified as 44-year-old Imtiaz Shamir Mohammed, called Uncle Shamir. Mohammed was found guilty by a 12-member jury of 2 counts of rape of a child under the age of 16. He was found guilty before Justice Bresington Reynolds at the Supreme Court of the Judicature. It was found that Imtiaz Mohammed between September 1st and September 30th, 2014, and between January 1st and January 31st, 2015, he engaged in sexual penetration with the victim. The incident took place during the time Mohammed was operating a school bus that would take the teen to and from school. It was initially alleged that Mohammed, during the dates mentioned, tasked with transporting the child from lessons, instead took her to a dark, bushy area and sexually violated her. After committing the gruesome act, Mohammed would threaten to end his life and the child's if she should tell anyone. Imtiaz Mohammed is scheduled to be sentenced on July 2, 2021. Reporting for MTV's Court Roundup, Lashawna Gomes Cornelius.
The ISG and MTV's Sport Update is next. Stay tuned.
Let FiberTech help you to renovate, refresh, and redecorate your kitchen. Spice up your kitchen with decorative colors, finishes, and accessories. Choose from an array of designs and beautiful granite colors that are blended to suit your choice. FiberTech Lifetime Kitchen is durable, termites-free, and water-resistant. Enjoy 1-year factory warranty along with our after-sale service. So come on in and let us help you choose wisely.
Introducing Softex toilet tissue. Available in leading supermarkets countrywide. Softex is always silky smooth because it's made from virgin pulp and babies love it. Softex comes available in single rolls, economy pack, 6-pack, and 1 dozen packages. Just perfect for any budget. Manufactured and distributed by BPAT's Paper Manufacturing, Eccles Industrial Site. For more information, telephone 622-4197.
As a new mom, there are moments of pride, joy, and doubt. Yes, doubt. Has he slept enough? Does she have everything that she needs? Will she be okay in the sun? These doubts come from love. For the good of baby, 2 servings of Nestum are full of all the goodness and naturalness of the cereals that your baby needs to blossom. That's one less thing to worry about. Nestum, it's all good, Mom.
Learn more online with Nestle Baby and Me.
Welcome to Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., Guyana's sole distributor of NP and Ultra lubricants, SKF bearings, seal and belts, international trucks and parts, and Napa batteries. With a bond capacity of 30,000 square foot, we offer superior brands at affordable prices and the best after-sales service. ISG supplies sustainable integrated solutions to make your business a growing success. Visit us at our new main office at Lot 4Q Peters Hall. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.
The National Assembly has approved a total $186.4 million to facilitate supplementary works on community grounds across the country. Minister of Sport Charles Ramson Jr. said the ministry has already exhausted its budget to undertake several ground enhancement works, hence the request for additional funds.
Ground enhancement. The line is called ground enhancement. It forms part of what communities do for their community grounds, which includes playing of sports. But it's not only for the playing of sports. It is a community ground for which all kinds of activities occur there, which in social activities, it's used for training, all of the pavilions, etc. They're all used for different purposes, which includes some of them are being used for medical purposes at times.
Ramson said the grounds will be identified after consulting with stakeholders from the 10 regions. The sum will be distributed to the neighborhood democratic councils of the various regions. The councils will be responsible for deciding what renovations will be conducted on these facilities. Today in boxing, Caribbean bantamweight champion Kevin Allicock is the latest to join Guyana's contingent attending this year's Tokyo Olympic Games. He is the only Guyanese boxer currently in the AIBA World Rankings, ranked at 19th in his division. Alicok has been the first Guyanese boxer to qualify for the Olympics in 25 years. Guyana's last Olympic medal in boxing, and notably our only Olympic medal to date, was in 1980 when Michael Paris won bronze in the bantamweight division at the Moscow Summer Games. On this year's Olympic team, Alicok will be joining Chelsea Edgell, who grabbed a historic qualification as our only table tennis player to ever qualify. He also joined sprinter Alia Abrams, who has already qualified for the 400-meter and has competed in the Olympics before at the Rio Games in 2016. Joining them will also be swimmers Jamila Samugan, who will be attending her second Olympics, and Andrew Fowler. In football news, the Golden Jaguars will be competing in the CONCACAF Gold Cup first-round qualification process with their first match set for July 3rd in Miami. The Jaguars recently suffered losses to Puerto Rico, Trinidad and Tobago, and St. Kitts and Nevis in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers and were not allowed to advance to the second round. Wayne Ford, president of the Guyana Football Federation, attributed the team's losses to the domestic players' lack of international exposure. He noted that Guyana had negotiated 3 international friendly matches, namely 1 against Nicaragua and 2 versus Suriname.
We are planning to travel to Miami early with the hope of playing 2 friendly games as part of our preparation for this important encounter. These friendly games are crucial in assessing the players' level of match fitness and other performance benchmarks.
This will be the Jaguars' second consecutive appearance at the competition, and the team will be aiming to once again make it to the Gold Cup after having done so in 2019. The Federation does not shy away from the fact that Guatemala will be a difficult team to battle, especially as the opening match in the Gold Cup qualifiers.
There is no doubt that Guatemala will be a tough obstacle in advancing to the round of 16, and we should be realistic about our expectations. However, we expect the squad and staff to give everything that they have to cause Guatemala some serious problem throughout the match.
We turn now to cricket. Organizers have announced that the women's T20 cricket competition at the 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games will take place from July 29 to August 7 at Edgbaston. The group stage matches of the 8-team event will take place till August 4th, with the semi-final scheduled for August 6th. The final, as well as the playoff for the third place, will take place on August 7th. Cricket has only been featured in the games once before, but this is the first time women will be competing. This is also the debut of the T20 format at the games after a men's 50-over competition was held in 1998. The 2022 Commonwealth Games, which will attract 4,500 athletes from 72 nations and territories, is scheduled to run from July 28 to August 8 next year. Athletes from the Caribbean represent their individual countries at the games, and a qualifying tournament for those nations will decide which team takes the West Indies spot. And finally, Tokyo Olympics organizers will be releasing new COVID playbook outlining the safety guidelines for this year's games. The launch of the latest guidelines coincided with the arrival in Japan of John Coates, a vice president of the International Olympic Committee, who is its point man for the event. An earlier version of the playbook, released in February and updated in April, banned singing and chanting during the events and required athletes to wear a mask at all times, except when outdoors sleeping or eating. About 11,000 athletes and 78,000 journalists, officials, and staff are expected at the games, and many Japanese fear the influx could contribute to spreading the virus. Athletes and close contacts will be tested every day, while all participants must have 2 negative tests before arrival. Some 80% of qualified athletes have already been vaccinated, and the IOC is pushing to raise the number. Organizers also say that up to 80% of media are expected to be vaccinated. For MTV Sports Update, Jessica Callender.
That brings us to the end of Sport Update, which was brought to you with the kind compliments of ISG. More after the break.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc. your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.
That brings down the curtain on tonight's newscast. But before we go, here is a reminder of our top stories. National Assembly passes motion to remove Patterson as PAC chairman. Health Ministry working to vaccinate 100% of the adult population by year end. 102 persons hospitalized with COVID. And in sport, 186 million approved for sports sector. Qatari broadcast tomorrow at 6 hours 30. Don't forget to like our Facebook page where the news can be viewed live at 19 hours 30. On behalf of our news and technical teams, Ashley Scotland saying stay safe and goodbye for now.